Back in action.
Back in action.
With my boy D.
Yeah, and also we have a special guest in the building.
Is he special?
Yes.
I'd say he's special.
Very much
Yeah,
so.
you're
Very
all right.
much so.
All right.
Welcome, Austin. Austin Sawyer, everyone.
Yeah. So
or Sawyer, if
yeah,
you're not from Indiana.
And if you're from Twitter, it's at Austy23, right?
Is it?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you change it?
No, it's always been that.
I thought it was a Saw. That's everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I made my Twitter when I was in like 7th grade. I
It
think.
sounds that sounds about right. Yeah. So did you have a Twitter before you had a Facebook?
I don't think so. I think I've had Facebook since like 5th grade, which was definitely a mistake.
That's when I had it too. That's when I got it.
I got it in 2009. That's all I did.
I think I was around there maybe 2008.
And you want to know I know this is very off subject for where we're going to go in the future of this podcast, but like you want to know the reason I got Facebook?
What's that?
Girls.
No. There was this. I had this friend, and he was
Farmville.
Gosh,
Was
dang
it Farmville?
It was
Seriously?
definitely.
Oh my god.
How did you know?
Because that was all the rage back then.
Yes, that's why I got Facebook is because my friend was like, "Hey, you should make a Facebook so we could be Farmville friends." I was like, "Oh, okay."
I'm turning Austin down just a little bit, but continue.
Yeah, turn me down, see what happens.
I'll fix it and post it.
You're about to spill all the liquidation over there on
I
that
almost spill it.
the tape. Yeah,
Can we share this water, Moose?
your antler got in the
I had a little.
By the way, this
Tickle in my
water
throat.
is sponsored by Amp Entertainment and Shaw Audio. Thank you very much, guys, for H2O. Because it's great. It's great with hydration.
Sponsor on this week's episode is water. Water, better when it's wet.
Ugly God.
Young ugly guy.
All right, I'm back.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Are we ready? Are we ready?
Yeah, he was just a little loud. A little
Okay.
pumped. Little pump.
Lil Pump. So,
Saw, dude.
now that we went on like this little weird social media rant.
Oh, speaking of.
Oh wait, yeah,
what
we
just
can
happened
stay.
with
We
it?
can
Please,
stay.
What?
please talk about it.
We
here.
can still
Please
we
talk
can
about
stay
your
on this
Twitter.
rant. Yeah.
All right, so I was recently featured on the Jimmy Kimmel's Celebrities Read Mean Tweets. It is before, like right before the CMAs, or before or after they aired it, and
Right.
Luke Combs read it or tweet of mine. I tweeted out like back in June, so I had totally forgotten about it. But it said Luke Combs looks like the human manifestation of cornbread.
Which is spot on.
I mean,
Like,
really though.
I
it's
remember watching that video, not knowing, I had no clue until today that you were the one who tweeted that. But I remember watching that video, and I'm just like, my mind exploded because it is so true. It is so true.
Did they read your Twitter name on there?
No,
they
it's
put
displayed.
it on there.
Did you get any more followers from that?
Of
course, I would think of that.
4.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Nothing crazy.
So when did you initially find out that they featured your tweet? Did they like inbox
No,
you?
they
or-
didn't even let me know. Some guy just like replied to the tweet and said, "Hey man, this was on Jimmy Kimmel tonight." And I'm like, they
had no idea.
Yeah, they didn't even like say, "Hey, we're gonna use this." So like,
lit.
I might.
That's crazy. The reason I asked that is because I noticed that some of those Twitter handles were like parts of them were blurred out, so I didn't know if like they asked everybody, but that could have been something offensive in the handle.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That makes sense.
Didn't you also like have something else on Twitter, kind of?
Yeah. It was just,
Oh, you got
college
it
one?
featured on like a meme page or something like that.
Yeah, no. Back in last August,
This is the best one.
it said, "Stop encouraging everyone to go to college. There's not enough parking,"
Which
and
is
then-
so true, man.
which is
Like,
very true. And but
Especially for MTSU.
yeah, but have you been on campus this semester?
No.
They like
it's ridiculous.
They're building a new building, so they like blocked off half of the student union lot. So like, I don't know where everybody's
the
parking.
student
Oh, wait a
union lot?
minute.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they had. I haven't.
I
been
never
over
parked
there.
there. I never
Yeah,
parked
Dude,
there.
that's
I
crazy.
usually just park in the garage.
They've also
but,
got over there where the KU. No. The KOM is. A big portion of that parking lot's blocked off because
Yeah.
they're redoing.
Are
the
they still
parking
doing
lot,
the
or-
sport complex thing? Or is that a
Uh,
thing? Did you hear about that?
I don't know if that was
That-
ever confirmed. to be
Yeah,
honest.
no, that was like a leaked video. It was like a proposed thing, and it was like leaked, and
Yeah, well, That
looks
looks
dope.
It'd be awesome.
But
Yeah,
where's
absolutely.
that funding coming from? Yeah.
The tuition that's going up. For real. though.
Truth.
Money.
I think it went up like
For those that want to know, that's Austin. We got those from recording your album, right?
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
just randomly said weird stuff every once in a while. And we cut them out.
yeah, you know how they do.
Yeah.
Young Gravy.
What? Young Gravy?
Oh yeah, I have it repeating on accident, but
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Added a little bit
It's
of
lit.
character to it.
Oh yeah.
So you're also a campus tour guide.
Yep.
Well,
Getting it?
Yep.
we were on
Getting into
we
this?
were on the campus
Yeah,
topic.
you're right. You're right.
Do you see that help with like, first off, everyone, obviously, if you haven't figured out yet, Austin is a musician. Do you ever get anybody does that ever come up in conversation or anything like that when you're giving a tour through the Rib Building or?
You shameless plug yourself every time.
I've only shamelessly plugged myself one time, and that's because it was a group of like pretty much like 99% music business people.
Okay.
And we were just talking about it like the whole time, and like two of the people were like transfer students coming down from somewhere, I think it was like Illinois, and they were like ran a venue, and we were just like really
okay.
hit it off when we were talking about stuff. So I just mentioned at the end, I was like, since you all are musicians, I don't normally do this, but you can go check out my
and
music.
they were like, yeah, right.
Yeah. and then sometimes when like one of the stops we do in the College of Media and Entertainment is like the Center for Innovation in Media. So
Is that upstairs?
No, that's the TV, like the news kind of room
Yeah.
on the like far end of the building. And then they have like the TVs like going all the time, and the middle one is like an MT10 stream. So sometimes I'll be giving a tour, and that showcase Dan and I played back.
playing?
Yeah, it's playing.
Does
I'll be
anyone
like,
say, is that you?
well, I mean, I usually point it out if it's happening.
Yeah.
But it's
Guys,
only
look,
happened
I'm
like
on TV, dude.
it's only happened like 2 or 3 times. But
So
it's hilarious when that happens.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever experienced during like a tour? Like, is there anything that's just been really different that's happened in the middle of a tour?
I had an 8th grade boy ask me one time. He's like, listen, when the 8th grade, when like the middle school kids get on campus, they just like spit game the whole time.
Oh, I remember this kid.
Yeah, but he's like, if you get pregnant in the dorms, do you have to move out?
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
an
I don't
eighth
remember that
grader.
kid.
8th grade boy asking this.
That's awesome.
Boy, the things that run through their minds. I wasn't thinking about that when I was in 8th grade. I mean, I was probably thinking about some foul shit, but
When
but
thinking about getting pregnant in a dorm and if I would be getting kicked out if that happened, it seems like that's what his plans are when he gets to college.
Yeah.
at that
so-
age, I was wondering who the kid was that got the drug dog brought to our school. That happened. Actually, that was 7th grade. That was a real thing. We had a convocation about it. Like they sat all of us down in the auditorium, and then while they were doing that, they ran the police dog through our school and like sniffed out lockers and found some
Yeah,
big
they
bag
did
of
that at
dope
my
in some
school.
kid's
Yeah.
car or some kid's locker.
That's crazy.
In 7th grade, is that a thing? That's
That's
nuts.
That's too much. I don't think in 7th grade, like at the time that I was in school, in middle school, I don't think anything like that was really going on. But like now, obviously, kids are doing more and more at a younger age.
But I was
Which is
also in
kinda
like
scary, but-
we had like 4 public schools that went, 4 middle schools that went into the high school.
Yeah.
Because they were in different parts of town. And that I was in like, I'd say I was in the worst one.
Yeah.
Like for sure.
But
It
my
was-
hometown has a very much different demographic than
yeah.
yours,
Good old bunch of good old boys.
for the most
For the
part.
most part,
yeah.
Everybody I've met from your hometown's nice as hell.
Yeah.
But
We're pretty.
so yeah, Austin, do you want us to give you an intro? Because I give you an epic intro.
Sure, let's hear
Yeah,
it.
let's hear that.
What
Let's
you
hear
got
that.
for me?
All right, so Austin Sawyer is a
Sawyer.
musician. Sawyer. I can't speak.
He's from Indiana.
Yeah,
You
no,
know.
Sawyer.
Chloe does it all the time.
Sawyer.
I give her so much crap about
She
it.
says Sawyer.
Yeah.
I also say eggs. Okay, Austin coined the freaking phrase eggs because I say,
I just pointed it out. I just pointed it out to you.
and because
He made it
because-
known.
Yeah, because I say when you're making like eggs and bacon. That's how I say it, because I guess apparently because I'm from Indiana, Dad says it too.
Asterisk eggs.
And yeah, asterisk.
For our southern listeners, we're talking about eggs right now.
Eggs. I have to struggle to say that.
Eggs.
So he's coined that word for me, which I use on my Instagram constantly whenever I make eggs in the morning. And I met you through the song "Put Me in the Ground," which I'd say, I don't know, I feel like 50% of the people in Murfreesboro that I know me from that song. I'd say for real, it helped kind of get me out there as Moose. The Austin was featured on the song, and
Singing.
did you help write?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. Okay, a lot of it. Okay, I thought
it was a substantial
it
part.
wasn't Sebastian, was it? It was you.
Sebastian-
that helped finish, or did Sebastian help finish? And you were already in it or something. Right?
We were all kind of, Dan had like the chorus kind of established, and then
And wherever else he was going was like super sad.
I made it super sad.
It was happy.
Yeah,
and you made
yeah.
it sad.
He made a getting out of town song. I made a breakup song.
Well,
Okay.
I think that was a good decision because it really helps support. And
It
of course,
popped off.
Yeah. And people like to listen to that stuff,
Yeah, people
yeah.
like the in their feels stuff, especially me. I'm a sucker for emotional. Like when I know a lot of people like when they were in the 7th and 8th grade, they love the angsty stuff. But like, dude, like that, like I would sit in my basement and this just bask in this stuff. Like I was all about it. Like the only thing I didn't have was the moody hair. It's like the only thing I did, like you had.
Yeah, that wasn't. I wouldn't define it as moody hair.
Moody hair. Had a helmet.
But when
Have you ever seen his throwback pictures? His pictures from like middle school and high school, or even
Maybe.
your senior pictures.
Did you have like Justin Bieber kind of hair?
Yeah, but it was a helmet, cuz.
Wow.
I mean, I just have a good head of hair,
He does.
and like when I
It's
grow that
thick
out,
with 2 Qs.
It's it is what it
I'm
is.
sorry. I can't
No,
change
I'm
that
saying
about myself.
I'm
you know?
saying the only people that hated on it are the ones that couldn't do it. So
The bald-headed hose.
Bald head. So,
but I hate that hairstyle. To be honest, now I can't believe I did that. Rip.
It's all right.
It's all right.
We've
It's
all made
good.
mistakes.
We
Yeah,
have.
trust me.
Live and learn.
I've made many that are not pictured. But that's how I met Austin, and I honestly didn't really know much about Austin until we started working on his music, and he approached me to work on his music
Yeah.
through Put Me in the Ground. And then since then, like I became really good friends with you through making the album that's gonna come out next year. Can we just say next year?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Early next year,
early
people.
next year.
Don't worry. It's coming.
So yeah, Austin is a musician, leader of a band, songwriter, and all. I would say you're a damn comedian. You're fucking hilarious, dude.
Very funny, dude.
One of the funniest people that I personally know. Dead ass.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. And his Twitter's popping. So if
It
y'all
is,
y'all
yeah.
ever want to tell her your Twitter handle again,
At Austy23.
AUSTY.
Were you
ASTY.
a Jordan fan when you were in 7th grade?
Yeah. No. I like.
Is that where it came from?
Yeah. No.
It was just cool.
Yeah, I just honestly regret that Twitter name so much, but I went viral with it, so it's too late to change it now. But,
Yeah.
Is that why you stuck with it?
Yeah,
You're like, I just have to now.
too much clout associated with it. But no, yeah, it's just like I was playing basketball at the time, and I was
Were you
I was
any good?
23.
He was tall.
Yeah, I was tall. Basically,
You were the wall.
I was the freakish like 6-foot kid in 8th grade.
He was
Dude,
the
were you
Larry-
awkward when
he
he
was
ran
the
and
Larry
stuff?
Bird.
I don't think
He was the
so.
Larry Bird of middle school.
We had a kid that was like 6. He was at least 6'2", 6'3".
Sheesh.
I'll never forget that.
in
kid.
middle
He-
school?
Yes, dude. He was huge, and he ran like he just didn't know. He didn't know what to do with all his body. So especially when his arms would move, his hand would always be back.
Oh no.
Because it's like he had too much weight or something. I don't know. I felt bad for the kid, but man, he could move. I mean, he had a stride on him. That's all I gotta say. But that's Austin. In a huge nutshell, I guess
yeah,
that was a botched intro,
Well,
but
It's okay. We'll dig a little deeper and find out.
We'll fix it in post.
We'll fix it in post.
I love that.
So I guess the first question after hearing that intro, obviously we gathered that you're a musician. How did you get to become a musician? What was the little first taste that you got from music, and how did that grow into what it is now?
I like to, I guess, kind of cite it back to my dad. He kind of had a pretty, like, unique, eclectic taste in music. Like, a lot of dads just, like, listen to classic rock. And don't get me wrong, my dad loves some classic rock, but there are also some, like, bands like The Smiths and a band called Drive-By Truckers. And also, he, like, I have memories when I was like 4 or 5. Like my dad was listening to like Blink-182's album.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Dude, your dad's lit.
So he
like legit liked him.
Yeah, it's
That's awesome.
their 2003 album, which is
Is that Enema of the State? Is that what the
no,
girl?
no. The 2003 one was like a pretty big departure from their music. It's just like self-titled, but it was like kind of regarded as their first serious album.
Okay.
More or less, but it's absolutely phenomenal album. But
I'm looking it up.
my dad always just kind of, I always appreciated his taste in music and how, I guess, like much he thought about the music he was listening to.
Right.
This one?
Yes,
With
that
the
one.
pink and blue cover?
Yeah.
What's it called?
Smiley.
It's just a self-titled.
Okay.
And then it's the one with like I Miss You. That was the big song off that.
Yeah, Feeling This was pretty big off that one too.
Okay.
Yep.
And then that. So yeah, that got me, like, I guess my dad got me interested in music. And
was
then,
it by his taste in music, or was he also a musician at all?
he plays guitar a little bit. Just,
Okay. Just
Picks around.
Yeah, and that's
like a lot of dads.
right.
Of that era.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
knows U2 covers and as the
Okay.
dads do,
Yeah.
as the dads do. But yeah, so I started playing on his guitar, and then got a guitar for Christmas. 10 or 12 years ago, whenever that was.
It's about 12.
And then
10 or 12?
I was probably about 9 or 10 years old.
Okay.
And then I let's see.
Were you serious about it when you started? You know what I mean? You know how some kids will get one, like me. I got a guitar, believe it or not, when I was a kid. I just like, nah. Like, I was like, that's cool. Like, and then I just like,
Yeah.
I wasn't focused enough.
Honestly,
Were you like that, or did you
honestly
like?
don't remember the progression of like learning it, because I know for like a lot of people learning guitar, they'll like start and then they'll just kind of go through that phase where they like don't feel they're getting any better and just give up.
Yeah.
And I like don't remember that phase.
You just kind of kept
right.
You
Which
it
I'm
was
sure
always around.
I'm sure I had it, but and
Was there a point when it got like you were like, okay, like I'm kind of getting good, or like I'm more serious, or I'm more interested in it? That you remember, like where it picked up? You know what I mean? Where it was more of a part of your life.
Yeah, I guess when I first started playing, I was doing playing a lot of like, I guess like grungy and like punk
Nirvana
stuff.
and
Like
stuff?
Really?
Yeah.
That's lit.
My music taste started around like Nirvana, and then like Green Day and Blink-182. That's
Sick.
like all the
I would've
music I get
never
started
guessed.
on. Which if you go through the album, you can definitely like pick up some influences of that. Especially I had a guy talking to me about White Buffalo yesterday. He's like, this is just like a grungy song, and I never really took it as that. But
I haven't either.
I guess if you think about it, I mean, it's
Yeah.
got heavy guitars and power chords and that kind
Yeah.
of stuff, which is it's definitely influence drawn from grunge and like pop punk, whatever you want to call it, 90s rock genre. So that was where I was learning that. And also at the same time, my older brother had started playing music. He was playing guitar, but he was also playing drums at the same time. So I was kind of immersed as the front man and then he's still way better than me at guitar, but he's also
Is he really?
yeah, no, he's great at guitar, but he's also much better than me at drums too. I play a little bit of drums, but he's definitely
It's the hardest thing to do.
the better
oh,
one.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried, Dusty, to play drums?
Yeah, I'm terrible
Dude, I feel like
with the drum set.
a baby deer.
Yeah, I look at it and I'm just like, okay.
Getting the feet and the hands is what messes me up. I could do the hands.
Yeah.
I could do a little
But
beat
see,
with the hands.
I was killer at drums, like on when they came out with
Rock
Don't
Band?
say-
Band.
oh,
Yes,
I knew you
I've
were
seen.
gonna say
I
that.
know it's a nothing compared to playing actual
But
drums.
it's still coordination
But
between
it's
your
still
feet
coordination.
and
And
your
I was
hands.
good
Yeah.
at the coordination when I have everything in front of me telling me when to do it. But like when I'm thinking for myself and I just get,
Yeah.
that's not how I compute.
Yeah, but so my brother's he's always kind of had a more, I guess, like mathematical brain.
Yeah.
So that made like learning the theory of guitar really easy. Like, I mean, all drums is counting to 4 over and over again.
Yep.
And so he was able to do that. He's got he's got an electrical engineering degree. So he was always really good at that. Where I was more, I guess, creative.
Yeah.
Which is that right or left side of the brain? That's creative.
Left.
Left is creative.
Left is creative. Yeah.
All right, so I guess I was more left brain, so I was sort of the that kind of led me into eventually getting into songwriting.
Yeah, and see that's what I'm really interested in is like how your songwriting began and how it developed over time. 'Cause you have
Yeah.
a really unique approach to songwriting, I feel like.
Thank you. But yeah, so my first, I guess, songwriting, I started writing songs maybe like freshman year of high school. That's when
Okay.
I started, and none of those songs are anything worth sharing or notable.
Do you have
But
any old stuff on YouTube?
I've got some old
That we could dig
covers. I got some old covers we probably watch, but so I started writing, and then formed a band with some of my friends in high school. This is called High Meadows Communion. I don't know if I ever
High
told you.
Meadows Community?
Yeah.
High Meadows Communion. Yeah.
I didn't know that. I had no idea.
So that was my first kind of real deal band where we were like actually like trying to play shows and stuff.
Were you guys playing covers, originals, a mix?
Mostly a mix.
Okay.
Or to start off. But we there were 5 of us in the band, and then like pretty much all of us were songwriters. So we were cranking out some content, and it was 3 vocalists, myself, my friend Will, and then another friend of mine, Noelle, girl, obviously. So we kind of had the tight harmonies and stuff, and that was like kind of folk rock influenced band.
Yeah.
So that's kind of marked my shift from like punk rock stuff to more folk stuff, and that was also around the time I started listening to, I guess, like Mumford & Sons were a big gateway, which in turn started listening to the Avett Brothers through them, which are it's like my favorite band, but is just like, I guess, more softer music and like more emotional music, I guess. Not to say that the
not
rock
sappy.
stuff isn't emotional. It's just kind of different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
So, and then High Meadows Communion, we played together like 2 or 3 years. Had a decent following in the Chattanooga area. And then I was the youngest member of that band, so everyone kind of went off to school, did their own thing. And
Is that kind of when that fell off?
yeah, I mean, we played a couple shows here and there, but my brother who played drums went to UT and played with them. So that's when I started writing as Drumming Bird.
And where did that name come from? What?
I don't know. It's just I play on words of hummingbird,
Okay. And
I
you,
guess.
Dude, I was talking to my buddy that I talked to on the phone. I don't know if I told you all the time at work because he did the same job that I do, Michael Osborne.
Oh yeah.
And he said, I asked him today, I was talking to him about that we were going to do this podcast. And I didn't until today, until I said something to him about Drumming Bird. Like, he knows all about you and stuff because I told him about working on your album and stuff. But he was like Hummingbird, dude. And like, I never put that together. I don't know why I didn't, but like, that never came together for me. So that's funny that you said
Yeah,
that.
I think it's a funny, appropriate name because hummingbird or birds are like kind of majestic, emotional things, and then when you add drumming, it's a kind of element. It's kind of combines my influences in a name. And it's also it's I think
That's
it's just,
cool.
I think it's just a cool name
I do
all
too,
around.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
catchy, memorable. So I've liked it.
I'm a fan.
But let's see.
Money.
Where was I?
You just mentioned that you started writing. Under...
Enter Drumming Bird. I had an album of like 8 songs I recorded on GarageBand.
You just write them on guitar?
Yeah, they wrote them on guitar, but I did the full production,
No kidding.
guitar, drums, bass,
Nice.
and everything on GarageBand.
When was this in high school?
It's junior year.
And is this the time when Take the Tiger Home?
That was like, that was.
Was that done on GarageBand?
No, that was actually done. I won some studio time at like a songwriting contest. So that was done
Okay,
at a
sick.
studio called the Soundry in Chattanooga. But yeah, everything else was just like recorded in my basement, and just figuring shit out as I went.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
exactly how I started. I wonder what year that was when you started with GarageBand.
About 2014, 2015.
Okay, because it was 2011 when I started with GarageBand. Like, I was making beats, so I was never recording until like 2 or 3 months down the line, and my buddies were like, "Dude, can you record?" And I was like, I don't know. But
I think so.
we'll try
I
it.
guess.
We'll try it. That was actually right there. That was my first mic I ever got. I recorded a lot of stuff on that. There's a lot of spit in that mic, probably.
Gross.
You need to clean it, dude. Floss.
Well,
It
you need to
builds
floss this
character,
mic,
bro.
Dude.
I guess.
But yeah,
That's cool. I never knew that you like spent that much time in GarageBand, like learning how to do. So you could like basically mix your own album now, dude. Like next time you're gonna man Pro Tools, bro.
So, is there any? I know you said you started writing under the Drumming Bird name. Is there any different approaches you took to songwriting at that time, or is there anything else that you became aware of that maybe changed the characteristics of the song or anything like that?
I never really. I feel like songwriting just like came pretty naturally and easy to me, which is just like, I don't know, feels like a weird thing to say.
No. You can definitely tell.
He's like that
in someone's writing.
He's definitely like that.
Yeah.
Have you always liked to write like through school and stuff?
Yeah, and I did kind of.
Just like tell stories.
We need to get my
and stuff.
mom on here to talk about this, but I would write poetry sometimes. So.
Yeah,
Really?
And I think that's a great thing for
Yeah.
all songwriters.
Yeah, because it's basically
Or any
what it is,
writer
right?
at all.
I started doing that in like middle school, and it wasn't like a ton, but
Right, but
kind of picked up. I had a knack.
What was
for
it about? Like, do you remember? Or like, what was there like a reason you were like, I want to write about this. I'm gonna write a poem.
No, I remember. I got my mom a poem for Christmas.
You wrote her a poem for
yeah,
Christmas.
Yeah, because cheaper than
anything.
You could
else,
have gave a
literally
better
cheaper than
answer, but that's
anything.
probably pretty true, right?
But
That's cool though. That's really cool.
And I guess my love for songwriting kind of developed from that.
And were you already writing songs at that point? And then like with the band, or did you start writing poems first?
Started writing poems like middle school.
So you got her. You said middle school. You got her. You wrote her a
I
poem
think
for
so,
Christmas.
yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Was she like, you're good at this, or did she say you're garbage, or?
Well, she's my mom. Of course, she said I'm good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure she
They're
says
on
his
my-
music's good.
My mom's gonna tell a middle schooler he's not good at poetry.
I don't know.
She's, my son is a poet. I need a publisher.
But yeah, and then with so High Meadows Communion, I wrote some decent songs, and then Drumming Bird started to refine it.
Were you writing by yourself at that point?
Yeah.
So it was a more internal approach.
Yeah. So it was. I've like never really had a desire to like be a solo artist.
Yeah.
You like the idea of a band?
Yeah, even if like it's a band where I'm doing all the legwork, like all the writing and stuff, I just never really wanted it to just be like Austin Sawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Sawyer and the drumsticks.
And
or
I liked the band concept.
The whole
And I think-
collective idea.
Yeah.
of being
and I
together
think
with
it's
people.
so much easier to market that way.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's hell
I'd
to
agree with
market
that for sure.
to market yourself.
It seems so like like
Self-indicative, or I don't even know if
Like-
that's the right word, but
it just seems like you got a big head.
Yeah, I mean,
it's harder. It comes off that way to people when you're like, listen to my song. You know?
also I have all these other people that have been putting in a lot of
Right.
hours.
If you say my band, it kind of comes off a little
Yeah.
bit
but on the
different.
same token, nothing's wrong. I don't
think it's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
It's-
saying it's wrong.
yeah.
It's just it's easier to swallow for people when you're like, hey, check out my band rather than check me out.
and it's kind of this like tangible thing that like separate from myself.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I'd feel like so weird like selling merch with like my name on it.
Like me.
Well,
Would you say-
Well,
No, I mean I'm not saying
well-
you're hating, but you know how weird it feels.
But-
no, I'm dead serious.
But
Like
I,
it feels
I'd
kind of
argue
weird.
Moose is kind of a separate thing from
Yeah, it's a good point.
yourself
It's a good
as,
point.
Yeah,
as
that's-
well.
Dusty, thanks for rocking my hat, by the way. I
Of
appreciate
course.
it. Since I don't even have one on, I'm draping today.
Would you say that, like, using the Drumming Bird name, would you say it's easier to like perform and display those songs that you wrote that meant so much? You know, it's like essentially taking how you feel inside and just putting it out for the world to see. Do you feel like it's easier to put through a Drumming Bird filter? Not necessarily filter, but
No, yeah, that's a good question.
That makes sense.
It is a bit of a kind of shield of the vulnerability that comes through in my songwriting for sure.
Do you think that helped improve your songwriting over time because you were like you didn't feel so vulnerable?
Yeah, I guess it's easier to
A little more confidence,
not
and,
filter
like,
yourself.
to say here's some emotions and how I felt when you've got a band surrounding you, kind of playing along
Supporting
and kind
you.
of pushing out, what you're making.
Yeah.
So did you write? So okay, maybe I might be taking some of where you were going with this, but did you at that point then you had those songs and stuff that you were messing with on GarageBand? So then did you take and build because you said you're doing it all yourself, right?
Yeah.
So did you build a band around that then?
Yes. Yeah. So when I made it, I really didn't have any intentions of like making a band, I guess, per se, of like performing
you
those
just
songs
kinda
You're just
live.
creating
like,
at that time.
pretty much like I did with Moose, like making a thing, like it's like kind of separate from myself. You did that with Drumming Bird and was like, hey,
Yeah.
Hey, we'll
this
figure out
is-
the details later.
yeah, like as far as live setting, like we'll figure out that later. But like
Yeah.
you were like, this is another thing aside from me. This is like it comes off as a group thing when you do have different instruments. And stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a cool concept. I never even thought about
So-
doing something like that.
So that's how I initially approached it, and then I guess like 6 months after I'd released something, like my friends in high school listened to it and stuff, and I like said we were gonna do like a one night only, the only Drumming Bird performance ever, and we were just gonna play like the 8 songs that were on the album.
And you had friends that wanted to do that with you?
Yeah. So that's my buddy Frazier played bass, and then Sam and Daniel played with me then. And
Really?
So
you got
So they
you got
were-
your brother to come back from college.
yeah. So
Okay.
so this show happened like early summer. So he was back from school,
Okay.
and then Sam was still in high school at that point too.
He's same age as you?
Sam Thomas. He's a year older than me.
Okay.
Yeah, and then my buddy Frazier's the same age as me, and then we played a show in Frazier's basement. It's called a Greg's Down Under because that's his dad's name.
Oh my goodness.
That's
I
cool.
love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And we had like 40 friends show up and just
That's
had,
awesome.
had a kick-ass time playing those songs. And then that kind of changed my approach of maybe I can make a band out of this and
Yeah.
play live more. So throughout high school, I kind of like wet my toes as a promoter a little bit because we only played like 3 or 4 Drumming Bird shows, but they were events like.
Yeah.
We like made a big deal. Yeah, so that first one had like
Smart.
30 or 40 people there. That was in May. The next one we didn't have till December. So it also kind of coincided when everyone could come back from school too.
Yeah.
But
It's the best time to do stuff in high school.
yeah, absolutely. So the next one was in December, and we like made a movie called Drumming Bird Saves Christmas.
Yes.
I totally forgot about this.
Do you
I need to
have
show
it?
you this. Yeah.
Dude,
So, it's like-
yes.
is
Can we
it-
put it up on our YouTube? Or do you have
Maybe.
it on YouTube?
Maybe.
Is it not that great?
No, I mean it's pretty good.
We don't have
but-
to. We don't
Dude,
have to
that's
put the
cool
pen to paper
or just like
right
a
now,
clip
but
of it or something.
Yeah,
like,
we can
that's
show
cool.
a clip of it.
That's
but,
cool.
So that was
Drumming Bird Saves Christmas.
yeah, written and directed by yours truly. It's it got snubbed.
Boy, he became a movie director, probably producer,
engineer, musician, songwriter, band leader.
What
So,
can't he
hey,
do?
also
Poet.
on like before we get too far, before you had other members, you just to be clear, you played drums, you played bass.
My brother Daniel played drums on a couple, maybe.
You're like, hey, I need you for this.
yeah, he played on like 5 tracks, and then I played on a
How did
couple other
you?
ones.
Did you know how to mic stuff, or were you just kind of winging it? Did you have equipment?
we had I had like
just like
a
laying around the house.
I had a little like
'cause you guys always-
Yamaha mixer that I'd actually shoot I borrowed a Zoom mic. I was in a film studies class at that time,
Okay.
and like those Zoom mics have like a built-in microphone.
Yeah.
I recorded like everything on that, and then
Oh shit. Even drums?
no. So I
Okay.
recorded like everything except drums on that, and then I had like a DI way where I could record like bass and guitar and everything. And then that year for Christmas, we got some drum mics. So
Wow.
That's so cool.
yeah, Daniel got some drum mics, and I got like a 10-channel mixer that had a USB input,
Nice.
so we could record.
So then you could actually split the tracks. Like
Yeah.
So you didn't have to go mixer and then record to one track or like a stereo track. You could actually split snare, kick on the thing. Does that make sense?
Yes. I don't. It was. I think it was just a stereo track.
So it
because-
just went all in at once.
Yeah, and you could adjust the levels on the mixer, but GarageBand.
But from the mixer to GarageBand,
Right.
it's just one track.
yeah, I'm
essentially.
pretty sure you can't do that on GarageBand, or at least I never learned how to.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, it's just a stereo drum track, so I was learning how to do
That's
all that.
lit.
But yeah, so
That's a challenge. That's fun though. Like
is
So, not knowing anything at all about mixing or anything like that, I mean, I don't even know if you knew at that point that was part of making music.
bruh, I
Like
found
having
out. Even me trying to be an engineer, I found out way later that was a thing.
What was that like, and how long was it after you recorded all the tracks until when you were like, okay, now it's done, now I can release that? How long was that period?
I don't know. I mean, I think that first album, it was like I made in like 2 months.
You just pushed it, yeah, because you were really.
Well, you're probably working on it every day too. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
I
thing
was-
like you got it home from school and you're like, I'm. Like,
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
the thing.
yeah. And like, yeah, I was doing everything on it so I could just work whenever, and
Yeah.
and then like, yeah, I didn't really know proper mixing techniques, so I was like, I guess this sounds good. Bandcamp,
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, Bandcamp, here we come.
Yep. Did you use SoundClick back then?
So
I think it was more for like producers, but
Yeah.
that was one of the older ones. It was called SoundClick. It was
Really?
Before SoundCloud, that was
Oh,
like
wow.
the producer's deal. But
Yeah.
you did Bandcamp,
Bandcamp, yeah,
swag,
because yeah, you could.
iTunes.
That's
and
still a
it
thing,
wasn't
right?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bandcamp's still a thing. It's like you can give money if you want.
Yeah.
Well,
I think, right?
that's an option, but you
Or did
can't.
You have
can,
it for sale.
You can set up for sale. I think it was like 8 or 9 tracks, and I sold it for like $3 or something.
Yeah.
Solid. Did you sell some?
Can you? You can't
Solid.
still buy that now, can you?
I took it down, but
Yeah.
Do you have Take the Tiger Home up still?
no,
Or did you take that down
I took
too?
it down too.
Because you have to pay yearly, don't you, to keep it up?
Yeah.
Isn't that because I've never put out songs.
Is
I
that
don't-
why
like,
you?
personally?
Is that why you took it down, or were you just wanting to be like, just wanting to
Both.
refresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Especially with this album coming out.
I was like,
And you're in a totally different place at this time.
right.
You know?
That was like 3 years ago when I
Yeah.
recorded that, and it was a great experience and everything.
and
And
it's a great song.
love that song, but it's
I still listen to that song.
I
guess I
remember
can't
when we went
really
to play it on
now.
the podcast one time.
you can still listen to it on the podcast. Yeah.
we
we
went
couldn't
to
get
play it one day, and he was like,
No, it's
you-
on there.
Yeah, it's on an
one of
old
the
it's on an
podcasts.
old episode.
And
Yeah.
so then it was
Somewhere
later
sitting
down
on
the
the power
road.
line in East Tennessee,
It was later down the road though that you were like, "Hey,
West Tennessee. Sorry, I always say East Tennessee because you're from East
Yeah,
Tennessee, and I get
yeah.
I get
You're
confused.
good.
Sorry.
You're good.
Sorry for those hardcore Drumming Bird fans. Oh my gosh, I can't even get a sentence out, but
we had that. Okay, so we used it once, but then there was another time I remember, and you were like, "Hey, take the Tiger home." Like I remember specifically trying to look it up on the computer on iTunes.
Yeah.
and you were like, "Dude, it was on there," and I was like, there's no Drumming Bird songs on iTunes," and you were like, "What? Yeah, did he take it down?" I think we called you or didn't text you about it, but that's funny.
Yeah, I took it down like a week or two before White Buffalo came out. Just
Did
for
you?
a clean slate.
Yeah.
By
totally
the way,
understand.
guys, I gotta take a little leak here soon, so we gotta take a little
Yeah.
little
I
pause,
ca-
and we'll
I-
play.
I
What song
actually-
you want first?
I'm with you. Let's do White Buffalo since I just
White
brought it
Buffalo?
up.
yeah.
Okay, bring us in there while I go over here and get on the mixer. Give us a little intro
Yeah,
to White
tell us
Buffalo.
just
Tell us a
quick
little bit
about
about
White
it.
Buffalo.
Yeah, so White Buffalo, you can look it up on Urban Dictionary, but it's it's a term that one of my friends made me woke to about. It's just like someone you regard as like out of your league and like
Just a white buffalo.
perfect, a white buffalo, a rare specimen of sorts. So I just thought that was a unique term and wrote a song around it.
Can we put a little reverb on the beginning?
Please do.
Everybody's got a heart in a state that made them right. I hear in Georgia the peaches are sweet as a Saturday night. Like a used car salesman, I would not let you leave my store. Down the street to a dealership that could offer you more. Are you gonna be my white buffalo? Living in my head with the silver glow. How long will I keep you on this pedestal? Forever on and on love goes. Everybody's holding on to a love they won't let die. You're just a summer sun that'll leave out of Labor Day night. Like a high school point guard running lines on the hardwood floor. I was chasing a dream that was not worth the trials endured. Are you gonna be my white buffalo? Living in my head with the silver glow. How long will I keep you on this pedestal? Forever on and on love goes. cows come